All right, hello and welcome to Mass Production Joe, where an average Joe tells you about some average stuff, specifically uh, model kits of usually the Mobile Suit Gundam line. We've got some custom stuff. We got some 30-minute missions kits here and there, but generally, I tend to appreciate the less famous, a little bit more sidelined units and mobile suits and machines that have little kits that tend to get overshadowed. For example, one of my personal favorites of the entire Mobile Suit Gundam Universal Century universe is something that appears as a sort of sidekick to a much more popular suit, which would be, if you'll permit me to grab something from under here, the Gun Cannon Mass Production. A beautiful kit with some very fancy shoulder cannons that have multiple positions and extend and retract just like they do when it appears in 0080 War in the Pocket. Now, nobody remembers this guy. This dude right here, nobody cares about him. He gets blasted by the Converse shotgun right away. He dies horribly. He is deployed, and he perishes. Right? You know what happens to the thing he's the sidekick to? The exact same thing. The GM Sniper 2, everybody's favorite, this big showboating hero of the Gundam universe, everybody's favorite kit, right? This thing is famous. This thing is beyond famous. There are dudes that commit their entire being to loving the GM Sniper 2. And it is one of the coolest GMs out there. Do not get me wrong. That thing is a beauty. However, nobody talks about Gun Cannon Mass Production. And so that's kind of the energy I'm going with into this, is talking about things that don't get talked about. And also model kits in general. There's a lot of kit review channels out there. And I'm not really going to do a lot of kit reviewing. I just held up this little guy. It was like, hey, he's pretty cool. And it is. This is a pretty good kit. But I'm not a kit reviewer guy. I'm not going to build that right here for y'all. Generally what I'm going to do is take things that are kind of off-brand, knockoffs, or like custom printed things, and get a couple of them, look at those, and review those, because nobody seems to do that. There's a lot of kit review channels, not a lot of channels that are like, hey, this dude 3D printed this armored core weapon for UC model kits. Let's look at those. That's kind of what I'm going to do. So I'm also going to do some stuff up here, like if I was gaming with the boys. Helldivers 2 is really popular right now, and that is not going to be relevant in like 10 years. But I don't know how long I'm going to be doing this. So that's what the Mass Production Joe is going to be all about. Mass production stuff. And maybe I'll talk about some kits here and there, but I'm also just gonna like play video games